There is no such thing as the non-player characters. That's not a thing. And I've said this a bunch of times, but it's super true. What the difference is the increase of God within a being. And that will increase life after life after life. So we go from the lower densities to the higher densities, from the root chakra to the crown chakra. And as you go through the layers, you embody more of the divine. And the whole point of the human is to embody the divine. But that's why a crown chakra person is going to look like they are the chosen one. They are, you know what I mean? They are alive. Where a root chakra person, and we're talking only like stuck in those lower levels, not conscious at all. We're consciousness level here. If you are barely conscious, then you are pretty much an animal. And animals do not have the same kind of soul as us. They have like a shared spirit, and it varies in there, but that's their own world. And they are very low vibration, but they're not evil. You can be low vibration. That's okay. But we, the human, are where the divine can consciously come in. So when we say consciousness, we mean we're not just living for animal instincts to eat and reproduce. We are just enjoying stuff. Like these plants are alive. They have spirits, and their mission is seeking and exploring, and it looks like they're not doing anything to us, but inside their world it's amazing. But that's not where that's not where God's going to have the most fun in. That's spirit, that's producing. But if you've ever heard of the anthropic principle, honestly, when you study this stuff, it's hard not to see it. And it goes into a few different concepts, but one of the main ones is that the entire universe exists for the human. And everything I've ever studied and researched mostly points to this, because when you're looking through stuff, things vary, but not a lot. We're told that religions are so super different, but they're actually not. And non-player characters are where you might even find in those religion dogmatic places. They are lower consciousness levels, but they are a prime example to show the way we are heading. Those people clearly want God, though, do they not? All those dogmatic religions that have done terrible things, they wanted God, though, and they wanted a good world, which shows the trajectory we are on. Now, right now, especially the millennials are super blessed with an ability in all of us, because obviously all other generations had special people, but en masse, it's more in the millennial that we have that increased consciousness to embody more of the divine. And I don't know if it's easier for us, because everybody I've ever heard of, including myself, had a lot of hardships they went through to get here. But at the same time, I can't help but notice how I've just always connected to divine, even as being raised as an atheist, to end up now a metaphysical minister. Clearly things were laid out, like being handed a Bible in grade 5, which I've talked about before. Like simple things were handed because I am the divine, and I was coming down to be like, wake up, wake up, wake up. Well, those people you think are non-player characters, they don't have such a strong upstairs coming in, because it wasn't lined up that way. The divine has all these different practices, and we are all that same divine that goes through every single person. So that person you're calling a non-player character is also you. They're just at an earlier stage. Now, I'm not saying you don't have to be annoyed with them. We're all humans and we have to play the game. But we are all that divine at different levels. So what does this mean for us going forward? There's still a problem, but don't dehumanize them. and take away their soul. They have souls. They have the same soul as you at the top. There's layers. It branches. So not necessarily immediately, but at the top, yes, we all come together. But the overall, the human comes together sooner than the very top, I would guess. But then there's the whole thing that the human makes God and God makes the human at the same time. And again, when you study the universe, that's exactly what scientifically makes sense, is that everything, and it's kind of like the Big Bang, but not really, because the Big Bang never actually happened. It's always been, and it's always expanding. And I love that image, but the circle coming in on itself. It's the toroidal field, but when you look at the top and you see how it comes back in, and it's all at the same time. And this fits perfectly together. Like, you take all the information that we know, and it's obvious, and it's scary. I am you, and you are me. You will live my life. I will live your life. We are all God. So this is why we can throw easily our perceptions onto other people. Even this is why when you learn metaphysical concepts, they can be dangerous. Even without understanding the full thing, you first start taking the all is mind. My thoughts make reality. And that, but it just gets more and more and more and more, like the level of responsibility that is on you is off the charts. Off the charts. You want to worry about small matters. The quickest way to get those off the table and naturally flourish is, instead of abundance and manifestation, realize how profoundly enormous you are. Like, you are literally the all. And I know people say that's dangerous in solipsism, where you don't see, but no. We are all uniquely real. This plant is alive. Everything's alive. My clothes are alive. Like, everything's alive. So no, I'm not saying like everything's not real. Everything is just about me, Diana, and the rest is just a poof of smoke. And then when I die, I'll decide what magical adventure I'll make up next. No, you're actually like literally have to go through every life, and you're not really in control 100% as the human, because the other bigger yous have a big hand in things. But then it is you, and the amount of control you do have though is high. Like, can I magically make a teacup right now and go poof? No, because in my human mind, I know that's not possible because of all my learned beliefs and behaviors, right? Like my own learned beliefs. They're a thing. They're an actual energetic block in a way, or an accelerator. It depends on the belief. So I can't find a reason to believe that I can make a teacup right now. But I have a reason to believe that I'm going to keep going back to plant, but I have reason to believe I can make that plant flourish if I put crystals in it. I did. I have a reason to believe that that plant will flourish if you know what I mean? Insert things that you learned, right? So insert things you learned, and then you can make it happen. So this is why I'm obsessed with knowledge, like you wouldn't believe. Like, the amount of things I have done, like I went and got a university degree in just a couple years because of how obsessed I am with metaphysics. And then I became a metaphysical minister. And then even in the middle of school, I became a life coach because I just wanted to be so involved in the process. How do we get those people we see as non-player characters to get on board and start helping and be good? Things like COVID have actually led us towards those people they need, like the unconscious. They're the unconscious people. How do we get them to come on board? Well, calling them non-player characters is not going to work. So what do? We find something that will awaken their divine spark. COVID's done it for a lot of people. I was awake before COVID, but I've seen that tons of people came on board because of COVID. Before COVID, I was all alone. I was the crazy girl that no one believed about anything. Like, like, and to the point where I was literally believed them. Like, especially when you're raised an atheist and then you get into this stuff, think about it. Oh, my friends were atheists too. Pretty much everyone in Canada is an atheist. Like, it's nuts. So we're in a whole different world now from what I've already seen. So all of you panicking, going, ooh, what's happening? No, trust me, as someone who was awake before all this was happening, watching how nothing was happening to fix it, nothing. We were just watching it burn. I didn't know anyone. There wasn't even anybody on YouTube I really ever found. But this is before YouTube was as big of a thing. Like, I knew about YouTube. Obviously, the odd thing would come up, it'd be a funny video. It was not like it is now where it's like actually on TV, you know? We're so much better off now. We are heading to a much better place. So the divine power is coming down. Like, more and more and more people are being activated. And even myself, I'm getting more and more and more activated than before. Like, now I'm like so empowered with my knowledge and everything, where before, back, like, if you've ever been like the empath, the early empath days, oh my god, the early empath days, and that was YouTube videos, but it was all just poor me because we feel other people's pain and blah. No, we don't. And everybody feels each other's pain. So I just contradicted myself. We do feel other people's pain, but so does everybody else. The thing is we are just conscious of it. We are more aware of our pain. And trust me, I'm a baby. I'm the biggest baby with pain. I'm so whiny. And that's the thing I gotta work through. But I found every person that originally identified as an empath is very whiny. So there's awakening to be done in the awakening community. I don't go blaming other people anymore. I have jumped out of that. But when I was first awake, I was one of them as well, that was awake, but made it more part of my pain body, because there was more things to complain about. There was more things to worry about. Finding out I was an empath was just the beginning though. That was just the beginning to a very, very, very long journey that now I don't even call myself an empath anymore. And in fact, I think that's a title of weakness, but also like self-grandeur, like what they're trying to do now with the starseeds and the chosen ones. No, we're just handed a gift of being produced consciousness easier than the unconscious. They did not have the opportunities we had. They just didn't. Like, my siblings, there's 4 of us, that my siblings have not had, like, we had the same childhood. We were raised together, but they didn't have a Bible handed to them in grade 5. They didn't secretly read it. They didn't get like these energetic visits from Jesus, like where it was just like an energy signature, and it was so vague because I was an atheist, but like I was like, that was something. And it repeatedly happened over years until eventually Jesus fully woke me up by like a very powerful saving me from a very bad situation. Like, my life was saved, literally. I know. And then I even tried being a Christian after that, and they're dogmatically, that was a disappointment, which is why I'm a minister now, because one day I don't like to do things in person, but maybe, YouTube I can help people better there. I want to be very helpful, but I have to be realistic. I'm still filled with anxiety like you wouldn't believe. But that's because I'm still very aware of everything. And in fact, the more magical knowledge I've learned and activations I've gotten, the more sensitive I am, to the point where I don't bother going to malls anymore. It used to be my favorite thing. I was a total mall rat. Your sensitivity will increase, but you will get more conscious. See what I'm saying here? When you're willing to go through the pain of awakening and doing all the things and learning all the stuff, you get more conscious, and you seem way less of a non-player character, and you were way more activated and involved. And I'm trying to think of things I can do to help the world. But those non-player characters, some of those are lawyers, some of those are doctors, some of those are, like right now with COVID, a bunch of the doctors have woken up because they've seen like, oh my God, we're giving people toxins. Oh my God. Like, you know what I mean? So they were non-player characters, and now they are consciously awake and more waking up. So like, this is it. We need to wake up those non-player characters, those unconscious people, to bring them into awakening. And then once you even base awaken, then you have to take the whiny empaths, starseed, chosen ones, 144, and walk them through, yes, you were abused. Yes, bad things happened. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. We have stuff to do, and you have to work through the pain. You, God, have to work through the pain. And when they had it better, well, guess what? You'll get to be them one day. And there's lots of people that had it much, much, much worse than you. And you'll have to be them one day too. Try knowing that the worst stories you've ever heard, you're going to do that one day, or you've already done it. Like, that's why I'm like, oh God, like maybe I've already done those things. But all time exists at the same time, and it's constantly recycling itself. So you need to work on waking up unconscious people, your non-player characters, rather than complaining about them and treating them like they're not real, because treating them like they're not real is not going to wake them up. It's just not. And they will wake up. You woke up yourself at some point. You were not born awake, even if you're one of the lucky ones like me, the chosen. No, you chose. But you had extra seeds planted in you. You had extra seeds before you were even born, okay? If you're one of them, you're lucky. So you cut them some slack and find ways to wake them up, because I have woken up a few in my life, and it's taken like years. But the more work I do on myself, the more I wake them up. So do the same thing. And everybody is unique, and it's usually you have to show them compassion and understanding, and you have to really hear their soul, and you have to find their soul, because often they don't know what their soul is. So you dig deep into them. If you find their soul passion, and then try to, but then they're going to have the excuses. Oh, I can't afford that. Oh, I wish I could do that. If I was so lucky, I could do that. No, they can. This is the kind of thing you learn when you learn the universe. And this is why I simultaneously teach the universe. But you have to be able to comprehend that. And some people go, oh, that sounds stupid. Well, I don't know how to help you. This is why I switched to being a minister, because I want to make it very clear. The only way to do this is God, but you're God. They have to be willing to understand the God factors to fix their life. Once you get in the God factor, then the life automatically increases, because how doesn't it? When the all is mind, which is what I used to focus on, but when that all that is mind finally gets through it, because that's one thing, you can hear it, know it, research it endlessly, have tons and tons of data and proof, but getting it into your belief system, getting it integrated into your perceptions that you throw it onto the world that make your world. And we do want to get in a place of not living from perceptions, but realistically, if you change your perceptions to be like, I am God, the things just unfold. You have to see people as who they are, including non-player characters, and just trust and love and find their soul spark and try to pull it out. We just got to keep working at it. You're so strong. And they will wake up more, because we need more of them to wake up to bring in the utopian better future sooner. Because with numbers we can do anything. That's the moral of the story here. With numbers we can do anything, and they don't even need to wake up to the level of us. They just need to wake up more, or at the very least start doing stuff more. I don't think all those truckers or tractor people are all awakened masters. No, but they just are seeing a place where their soul is coming alive. So they all have those places, right? And they can all find their own thing. So let's do it, okay? Thank you. I believe in you. Wake up those non-player characters who are actually just unconscious people. Everybody's a player, okay? I believe in you. Thank you for watching Transcending Ascension. Until next time, goodbye.